In the history of the United States, 4 presidents have been assassinated while still in office. The first was Abraham Lincoln, who was shot on April 14, 1865, and died the following day. The second was James A. Garfield, who was shot on July 2, 1881, and passed away on September 19, 1881. The third was William McKinley, who was shot on September 4, 1901, and died on September 14, 1901. And the fourth was John F. Kennedy, who was assassinated on November 22, 1963. The assassination of President John F. Kennedy is considered one of the most shocking and mysterious events in American political history and even in world history to this day. On November 22, 1963, at 12:30 p.m. in Dealey Plaza in Dallas, Texas, President Kennedy was riding in an open-top motorcade with his wife, Jacqueline Kennedy, Texas Governor John Connally, and Connally's wife. The trip was intended to strengthen political support ahead of the next election. As the motorcade moved through the city, 3 gunshots suddenly rang out. The bullet struck President Kennedy in the neck and head, causing fatal injuries. Governor Connally was also seriously wounded, but survived. Kennedy was rushed to Parkland Memorial Hospital, but doctors pronounced him dead at 1 p.m., just 30 minutes after the shooting. Vice President Lyndon B. Johnson was sworn in as president shortly afterward aboard Air Force One. Soon after the attack, police discovered a Carcano rifle on the 6th floor of the Texas School Book Depository building. A suspect, Lee Harvey Oswald, an employee there, was arrested. While fleeing, Oswald shot and killed a police officer named J.D. Tippit, but he was eventually captured at the Texas Theater. Oswald, a former U.S. Marine who had previously defected to the Soviet Union before returning to the United States, denied killing President Kennedy. He claimed he was merely a scapegoat. 2 days later, on November 24, 1963, while being transferred by police, Oswald was shot in the abdomen by nightclub owner Jack Ruby, who had blended in with reporters. The incident was broadcast live on national television, raising widespread suspicion that Oswald had been silenced to hide a larger conspiracy. In 1964, President Johnson established the Warren Commission to investigate the assassination. The commission concluded that Oswald acted alone and that Ruby also acted independently. However, this conclusion failed to eliminate public doubt. In 1979, a U.S. congressional committee reopened the investigation and found that earlier inquiries had flaws. Based on audio evidence, it suggested there may have been a second gunman, possibly firing from a grassy area nearby. However, no additional suspects were identified. Because the case was never fully resolved, many theories emerged, especially during the Cold War era, amid tensions involving Cuba and the Vietnam War. Some suspected involvement from the CIA, the Soviet KGB, the Mafia, or even retaliation from the Cuban government. One of the most debated questions remains: who benefited the most from Kennedy's death? Some analysts point to Lyndon B. Johnson, who became president immediately after Kennedy's assassination. Before Kennedy's death, Johnson was reportedly politically sidelined. After taking office, he successfully passed major legislation, including civil rights laws and his Great Society programs. Others argue that the military-industrial sector benefited significantly. Kennedy had shown hesitation about escalating U.S. involvement in Vietnam, whereas Johnson greatly expanded the war, leading to a surge in defense spending. The CIA has also been mentioned, as tensions existed between Kennedy and the agency after the failed Bay of Pigs invasion. Kennedy had even fired CIA Director Allen Dulles. Notably, Dulles later served on the Warren Commission, organized crime groups, targeted heavily by Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy, may also have had motives as their pressure eased after Kennedy's death. Despite all these theories, no conclusive legal evidence has ever proven a broader conspiracy. In 1992, the U.S. Congress passed a law requiring the release of all remaining assassination-related documents by 2017. Although tens of thousands of pages have since been released by successive presidents, including Donald Trump and Joe Biden, some documents remain classified due to national security concerns. Officially, the U.S. government still maintains that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone, and the case is considered closed. However, because Oswald was killed before trial and key documents remain partially hidden, many people continue to believe the full truth has not yet been revealed. As for Jacqueline Kennedy, she displayed remarkable courage and devotion in the moments following the shooting. When her husband was struck, she climbed onto the back of the car, reportedly trying to reach him despite the chaos. Her iconic pink suit became stained with blood. When asked to change clothes, she refused, saying, "Let them see what they have done to Jack." She continued wearing the blood-stained outfit all the way back to Washington, even during Lyndon Johnson's swearing-in ceremony aboard Air Force One. Jacqueline later organized her husband's funeral, modeling it after Abraham Lincoln's. She walked behind his casket from the White House to the church, demonstrating extraordinary strength and dignity. 1 week later, in an interview with Life magazine, she compared Kennedy's presidency to the legend of Camelot, ensuring that the world would remember her husband as a symbol of hope, elegance, and inspiration.